Welcome to Study Time, a televised home learning program produced by Rwanda Education Board.
Hello, students of Senior 2 Biology class. Welcome to today's lesson. As always, I'm Scovia, your biology teacher. Today we are continuing to look at Unit 1, which is classification of kingdom Animalia. But we had gone far to look at the phylum, different phylums that we find into kingdom Animalia. We had finished looking at phylum chordata, which are vertebrates. As I always remind you, we started looking at phylum Arthropoda, which deals with invertebrates, and still where we are. So today, as you can look on the screen, we are going to put our emphasis on the general characteristics, lesson 9, general characteristics of class Chilopoda, right? Class Chilopoda. So, as we have been looking at the invertebrates, or those animals that belong to kingdom Animalia but don't have vertebrates, we said they are grouped into 5 classes. So far we have looked at around 3 classes, and we are looking at the 4th class, that is Chilopoda. So we looked at the insects, Arkinda, Crustacea, and we are looking at Chilopoda, all right? That's where we are today. Look at class Chilopoda, all right? So, under phylum Arthropoda. And I want you to follow in that way, that Chilopoda also falls under phylum Arthropoda. Is it clear? It is under phylum Arthropoda. Good. Hope everybody is clear and ready. We start. All right? Good. Our today's objective now. You know, always before we introduce a lesson, we need to know what are we supposed to pick from what we're going to learn. What are we supposed to pick in all that we're going to discuss together here, all right? So today's objective, by the end of this lesson, when we finish to learn this lesson, everybody here will be able to tell the futures of animals in class and Chilopoda, all right? Class Chilopoda. What are the futures? What are the characteristics? I always tell you when I mention the futures, those are characteristics, all right? So what are those many futures that in case you come across, when you come across an animal and you look at external futures, just external futures, all right? Don't mind inside. No, what you see with your eyes, what are the main futures? What are the common? If you meet 2 on the way and you look at them from different species, they all belong to class Chilopoda, but they are from different species. But what are they supposed to be possessing in common? All right? So at the end of this lesson, we will be able to tell what are those common features, those common characteristics that every member of class Chilopoda has to possess. All right? Common. All right? Another thing that you will be able to tell or to know or to have understood is the adaptations. All right? The adaptations of members of class and Chilopoda that they possess in order for them to live in areas where thrive in areas where they live, all right? What do they have that helps them to keep moving or to keep living everyday life in their habitat? Clear? So I need you to be very attentive. As always, I know you're good students, to be attentive, and we move together, all right? When you meet a question, you ask. Don't hesitate, all right? Good. So we start by looking at the futures. So look at the pictures there. Look at the pictures on the screen. Have those 2 pictures on the screen. What do you see they have in common? What do they have in common? What do they have in common? I have the same here, the same picture here with me. Have it here, right? Everybody look here. The same picture like the one you see on the screen here. All right? Can everybody see this? It's the same as the ones that are on the board. All right? The same. So what do you see? What are some of the features? Does this animal I'm holding here have that is similar to those on the screen? In fact, it's the same thing. What external features do you see that it possesses? Because I told you that animals to be grouped or to be put in a class, we base on external features like we can look at the body parts. Look at the body parts that it possesses. Look at the number of legs. Does it have wings? Does it have antenna? Look at those external features. All right? Look at the external features. Tell me, what does it have? The one you see with your eyes, what does it have that we can base on to put it in a class different from the classes that we have been looking at before? All right? Thank you. Good. You're talking of the way how the body is, the flatness of the body. Yeah, it has a flat body. I agree with you. But look at the number of legs. Look at the number of legs. Everybody look at the number of legs. What can you say about the number of legs? Yeah, it has many number of legs. It has a lot of number of legs, different from what we have been seeing in other classes. So when you look at clearly this picture here, it has, look at the segment. It has many segments, all right? It has different segments, many segments. And each segment, if you look at this picture clearly, each segment possesses a leg. Each segment possesses a leg, all right? Each segment has got a leg. So animals in this class, chilopoda, have got numerous number of legs, all right? But the number of legs will differ in animals in this class depending on the number of segments it possesses. Because we have said that each segment has to possess a leg, two opposite, one the other side, another the other side. But each segment possesses a leg like that. All right, as you see. So go back to the screen. Let's go back to the screen and we see. On the screen there, if you look at the screen there, this is what I'm referring to. One leg here, another leg there. This is the same case. Each segment having like one leg on one side, another leg on the other side, but the number of legs will depend on the number of segments it possesses. Clear? Hope that one is clear. Some people confuse members of chilopoda to another class we are going to see after this one in the next lesson, we call dipropoda. So when you are to look at dipropoda and chilopoda, if you're not very careful, you may confuse the two. You get what I'm saying? You may confuse the two. But when you want to differentiate the two, this chilopoda, the chilopoda have got one leg here, another. But for the case of dipropoda, we find two legs attacked on the segment in pairs, appearing in pairs, two here, to the other side, two here and to the other side, like that. That is dipropoda. The word is saying die. Die means two. So it's like two, in dipropoda, two segments like fuse together. Then after fusing together, they appear to be two pairs of legs on each segment. All right? But for the case of chilopoda, they have one leg on each segment or on opposite sides, all right? So I repeat, the number of legs depend on the number of segments it possesses, but they have more than 100 legs, all right? More than 100 legs, depending on the number of segments, depending on the species where the animal belongs. So these are some of the, I was saying, these are some of the members of the class chilopoda. So the word chilopoda the class is composed of what we call centipedes, all right? The centipedes, cent means 100. So they can possess, then peds, that is foot. So they can possess more than 100 or 100 legs, all right? So they are found everywhere. They are found everywhere, and they have one pair of legs, as I said, per segment in opposite sides. One pair on opposite sides, but for Dipropoda, they possess two pairs on the segment on opposite sides. So as I said, those are examples of what? Chilopoda, all right? So basing on the outside features, basing on the characteristics we see, we are going to look at those characteristics one by one that makes an animal to lie into class Chilopoda, all right? Good. So what are the main characteristics? What are the main characteristics of organism in class Chilopoda? Look at the picture there on the screen. This beautiful colored animal there. This is a member of class Chilopoda or centipede. It is a centipede. Look at its body. It has a flat body. That's what we're saying. It has a flat body with legs positioned on either side of the body. That's what we're saying. One leg this side, another leg this side. One leg the other side, another leg there. So the whole body has got legs positioned in opposite sides like that. All right? That is one major characteristic for the case of our class Chilopoda. Another thing we can mention on class Chilopoda, still you can look at the diagram there. Look at the picture there. They have a pair of legs on each segment. I mentioned that. When you look at each segment clearly, it is very visible. It is very visible. It can easily be seen here. Non-so class, it is very visible. Everybody can look at it and see what we are trying to mean. That it has got a pair of legs in opposite side, but on each segment. We can't see any segment left out without a leg. Is there any? Who can show us if there is any segment that has not got a leg located on it? Hope nobody. Thank you, nobody. Because this is a segment from here up to here. This is what we call a segment. From here up to here. So each segment has got a pair of legs located on opposite sides. That is another characteristic. Like that, like that. So you can't find any segment left without. That mistake was not there. All right? Another thing you can look at, keep looking on the screen. Another thing we can talk about here on this diagram, on this picture I have on the screen, they have got, their body is divided into two parts. It has the head. Look at the head here. The head lands from here up to here. So it has got a leg and a trunk. So it only has two body parts. That is the head and the trunk. All right? So it only has two body parts, the head and the trunk. You will not find there any other body part on the class Chilopoda. Good? We can go ahead. So look at that. So this is the carnivorous. Some of these Chilopoda feed on other organisms, like insects, spiders. So they feed on them. So they are carnivorous. They are carnivorous. So what helps them to capture those animals that they feed on, the prey, the term we call prey. When we talk of the word prey or predator, there are different two words meaning different things. When we say a prey, that is the animal that feeds on the animal that is being fed on. But the predator is that one that feeds on the other one. So the reverse is true. So when we talk of the prey, if this is a Chilopoda, the animal that it has to eat, we call it a prey. But the animal that has to feed on the Chilopoda, that is a predator. Don't get confused of the two words, because I've been talking about these two words for several times. Some of you may misunderstand them or mix the meaning. So a prey is an animal that is going to be eaten. And that one that has to eat it, we call it a predator. Is it clear to everybody? Good. So here on the screen, when we come on the screen here, this is a predator. So to kill its prey or to get what to eat, it has a certain adaptation. It has something that helps it. That is the presence of poisonous crows. These ones are very poisonous. They possess venom. In case we are going to see in adaptations, in case it kills the prey, it injects in that, or it just pinches the prey, then it introduces inside the venom or the poisonous substance of which will make the prey to be weak and eventually it will feed on it or it will eat it, all right? So that is another characteristic possessing the crew that has got poisonous, all right? Another characteristic that they possess, they may have compound eyes, they may have simple eyes, some don't have eyes, all right? So for this case here, we see that it has got simple eye, all right? So this is a simple eye. Therefore, it is a chilopod. So it may possess either a compound eye, a simple eye, sometimes without eyes, all right? Another characteristic, the way they breathe, respiration, the way they give out carbon dioxide, the way, because they're animals, you know, to survive yourself, there is what we call respiration, you know that? There is a respiration. And to call out respiration, we need to have some respiratory organ. As we human beings, what do we have? Who can tell us what we have that helps in respiratory, in respiration? One of you should tell us what you have that helps in respiration. Yeah, the presence of lungs, you're right. The presence of lungs. So it's the lungs that helps in respiration. Not so, for this case, therefore, to call out respiration or to expel the carbon dioxide and put in oxygen, they use what we call the spiracles. The spiracles, all right? The spiracles. Where are they located? They are located on each side of the segment, all right? Found on each side of the segment. When you look at the segment, these are all segments. These are all, look at on the screen. Student, look at the screen there. These things you see divided, those are what we call segments. So the spiracles are found just on each segment. We find there air spiracles. So there are the ones that are used for breathing or for respiration. All right? Thank you so much. So I was talking about the objectives that we have to put into considerations that at the end of this lesson, we shall be able to do what? Who can remind us? Two things that I talked about. We said we shall be able to tell the characteristics or the features of class chilopod. And the other one, the adaptations. All right? The adaptations of class chilopod. So I think we have finished looking at the characteristics. I told you when I say characteristics, those are the features that they possess. Doesn't mean that they don't have other features. In each species, there are other different characteristics or features that members in the same species possesses that may differentiate them from members of the same class but in a different species. But major thing, we use the word common features, common characteristics. What do all, though there are different species in class Chilopoda, but there are some characteristics that they all have in common, and we have tried to mention them, all right? We have tried to mention them. The presence of the spiracle, simple compound, all, no eyes. I've talked of the poisonous clue. I've talked of the two body parts, that is the trunk and the head. I've talked about the pairs of legs located on each segment, one opposite direction, all sides. I've talked of the body being flat, that these chilopoda possesses what we call a flat body, all right? So thank you so much if you have all understood the characteristics, the common characteristics, the common features that class Anchilopoda possesses. So let us rush and go on adaptations. All right? We have to look at the adaptations. What are the adaptations that this class Chilopoda possesses that enables them to live in their habitat? What do they have in common that enables them to live or to fit in areas where they live? Because I told you last time that when you're in a class, there are things that you have to possess that will enable you to become a good student in class. Not so, class. Not so. That's what I said. Everybody should have certain things that will enable him or her to fit in a location or an area or a habitat where you are found. All right? So even this one, the same case. To fit where they are supposed to be living or where they live, there are features or there are some adaptation. There is a way they live their life so that they fit in areas where they live. Hope that is clear. So what are those things do they have that enables them to fit or to live successfully in areas where they live, in their habitat? This is what we're going to look at. One, the centipedes emit a gas that can hurt predators. You see, this is a very important thing. They have, or they emit a gas. In case an enemy comes, when an enemy tries to attack the centipedes, they emit or they release a gas which will go and hurt the predator. Remember the word predator. The predator is that animal trying to attack or trying to come and eat the prey, all right? So whenever an enemy comes, they try to emit a gas of which that gas will just hurt the predator, and the predator eventually will take off, all right? So that is an adaptation. They are not easily attacked, all right? Good. Another thing, as I had said earlier, the presence of the poisonous clues. These ones are very vital. What is the role of that? I talked about that. That the presence of poisonous clues will enable them to pinch a predator. Whenever a predator tries to come and attack, by the way, if each animal, I mean each group or each class of animals here on Earth did not have some mechanisms of defending itself from the predators, they would get extinct. They would get finished. But because each class, each species has got the way how to defend itself from the predator or from the enemies, therefore, they keep living. They keep producing. And their young ones keep, the generation comes on and goes on, all right? So the presence of the clue helps them to produce poisonous substance. And these ones are located that they pitch a predator on the back or poison animal with its, when it bites, sometimes it can, when it bites, in case the predator tries to attack, then it bites it happens to pinch it, then it introduces in that poison. Therefore, the predator will eventually die because the venom is dangerous to the predator, all right? Another characteristic, or another adaptation it has, another adaptation is the presence of numerous legs. You know the importance of legs for walking, for swimming, for doing what? All of that. Therefore, they have a lot of legs. I said numerous legs that will help them in everyday life, in moving, walking, swimming, like that, all right? So they are able to move from place to place because they have a lot of legs, all right? Another thing, another important thing that they possess that enables them to keep living or to keep in a successful life is the presence of this nocturnal lifestyle. What does it mean? What is this term? The meaning of this term looks new to us. Everybody seems not to be understanding this. Who can try to tell us the meaning of this nocturne? Anybody who can try to tell us the meaning? From here within us here, who can try to tell us the meaning of the word nocturne? that they live a nocturnal lifestyle. Good. To talk about nocturnal lifestyle, they are able even to view or to, at night, you can see they can move at night, so they are easily, they see in the night, they can easily move at night. They have that capacity of seeing, of viewing at night, all right? So they can either view during the day or at night. So they have that capacity. Thank you so much. That is nocturnal life. So it helps them, be it night, be it day, to keep doing their own jobs, hunting, doing each and everything they feel like doing. So that is a good adaptation that they possess. You see, like for us, at night, if there is no light, anything can be done. No light, everything is at home. Whenever light is gone, you know what takes place. You all gather near mom. You feel like afraid, all right? But for these ones, at night, they have that capacity of what? Of keeping doing their own activities, but because of their eyes, they are open, all right? They can view at night. So different from us, all right? Another thing they have that enables them to keep their life. This is the presence of spiracles on each side of the body or on the segments. As I said before, the role of the segment is like we can say the role of lungs on a human being. The role of lungs on a human being, that is respiration. Breathing out, breathing in. Taking, what gases do we have to put in and what gases, kind of gas do we have to put outside? Who can tell us? Yeah. We breathe in what? Oxygen. Breathe out carbon dioxide. Good. So, and the lungs is in control of what we call respiration. All right? So, for the case of these chilopoda, they have the spiracles that enable them to take in oxygen, take out carbon dioxide, and that is breathing. And the end, respiration takes place inside there. All right? Yeah. Thank you. Those are some of the adaptations, common adaptations that the class Chilopoda possesses that enables them to keep living without being extinct. If they would not be possessing this, all of this, they would get extinct, all right? So hope everybody has understood the characteristics or the features and the adaptations of a class Chilopoda as our objective for today's lesson, all right? So go back and read on class Diplopoda. Then when we meet here again, we shall discuss about it. Thank you so much for your attention. Next time, bye.